And who could have imagined? Sometimes you think you are here for a reason and then you discover.
I had other opportunities before. It was not the first one that I was kind of jumping.
And are you this kind of person that when you see the opportunities, you jump or you have to think about?
No, I'm always jumping. I always say first yes, and then I figure it out for myself.
So, what happened when you decided to stay here?
I came here to have an in vitro fertilization alongside an NBC clinic. At the end, I missed pregnancy, and that was the moment that was triggering my insomnia.
Hello, we are live from Brussels, and here I have a very special guest, Dorina Torje. She is an expert in sleep, but so many other things in between. So, Dorina, welcome to the Blue Woman Club in Brussels, where is your home now. And it has been such an incredible experience to see your growth and how you jump to see the opportunities that maybe sometimes other people don't see. And especially, I loved your journey. I love your story. And I want to share a little bit of that. So, Dorina, you are originally from Romania and you moved to Brussels when?
17 years ago, 2008. Thank you. Thank you, by the way, to have.
70, because I'm trying to calculate 17 years ago and you look so young today. But is it because of the good quality of sleep? We're getting there, right? So what brought you here?
I came for a contract. My background is in IT. I spent 25 years as an IT consultant. I graduated in mathematics, my first degree, and I have the second one in computer science. I did a master in computer science. So I had all of that. I could choose any other place in the world to pick up as a city where to live or where to work. But at the end, I just came for an interview here, and I fell in love with the city. And here I am, 17 years later.
And who could have imagined? Sometimes you think you are here for a reason and then you discover so many other reasons universe wanted you to be here. And during that journey, also you have faced many challenges that in fact now when you go back and think, wow, every dot is connecting with each other and I'm exactly where I was meant to be. So what happened into that career journey? So you came, you started your career and then?
Well, I started it was a small contract just for 3 years, and I was thinking, well, maybe 3 years. I'm just going back. I'm going to expose myself to that international experience. Coming back from Romania, changing already 6 times, relocating just before settling here in Brussels. So I wanted to explore international environment, to eventually dreaming already from that time to go global, to some degree. And I had other opportunities before. It was not the first one that I was kind of jumping. I had other opportunities to work just in Amsterdam or to go to US, but I didn't took that step forward. Maybe also because of my family, I didn't want to go over ocean. To still stay close here, to be just small hours of traveling between Romania and where I will settle.
And then after 2 years?
And after 2 years, I was just falling in love with the atmosphere here in Brussels. Felt like home. Now, each time when I'm landing from Zaventem, I feel like, well, this is when I heard the words here. That feels like the big
So after
home.
2 years, you felt like, I don't want to go back. I want to explore a little bit more. I need more time. Because it's also the opportunities you start seeing that before you didn't know they exist. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what the city is. It's extremely international. There are opportunities everywhere. Well, there are opportunities, but if you need to jump into that world, right? So it's kind of you see the trains passing, but you don't jump in, and it's like
Exactly. And are you this kind of person that when you see the opportunities, you jump or you have to think about?
no, I'm always jumping. I always say first yes, and then I figure it out for myself.
Absolutely. This is the kind of, activities and triggering in the community that women think too much. They analyze, they're paralyzed. What if this is wrong? What if it doesn't work? But it feels like you always had a kind of driving you that what to try. And if I fail, sometimes we learn, sometimes we are. So what happened when you decided to stay here?
Well, I said the opportunities indeed, but then I also was thinking for my family that it would be easy to kind of relocate in here, and they were having all kinds of medical issues, and yeah, Brussels was more helping us. So yeah,
So
copy that.
So, and then at some point of your journey, you realize that you're having this, let's say, sleep issues. But at the beginning, did you realize that that was something that you need to intervene to recover, or you thought it will go, it will be okay? Because sometimes we wait way too long until we realize this is a problem I need to solve for.
Mm. So it's interesting because how I choose in the first place Brussels was because here was one professor that was having an infertility clinic, and he was working with one of the surgeries that I was kind of having the surgery in Romania back, and I wanted to have children, and I was relying on his expertise because he was kind of writing a book together with the professor that was having a surgery back in Romania. So I came here to have an in vitro fertilization alongside in ICSI clinic. And 2 years being in Brussels, passing through all the process, I had that. So at the end, I missed pregnancy. And that was the moment that was triggering my insomnia.
How did it feel? So you came here and you really try, you make a plan, and plans don't go as you want, but also it's kind of your dream that you had is gone.
Yeah, there were painful moments.
Really memory.
Mm, um, there were pretty tough times also because I had to prove it was a long process to apply for that and to be accepted to have a pregnancy on your own, especially. And at the end, I was not prepared on how the whole process of losing the child would look like. Um, yeah, I was 10 weeks pregnant, and yeah, I had some bleedings. I was in the emergency room, and they said, "Well, that's it." And they gave me some medication inside, and they sent me back home. But I was still doing the business hours, so instead of going back home, I went to the office, not knowing what to expect. And while being some hours already in the office, I started to have a huge pain, and then somehow I was driving in this huge pains back home, and I was kind of half an hour laying down on my toilet. And then I was feeling how my child was basically going through the toilet. And that was a moment that was not expected for me. I mean, yeah, I was totally not prepared. But that moment that my child goes away in my toilet stayed with me and kind of blocked me in putting myself back in sleep.
So this is where you started feeling where the pain was embedded in your body, where it doesn't allow you to sleep. Yeah, and maybe it takes long for us to realize that everything is like a consequence of something. And when did you realize that in fact the sleep was a symptom of this?
Well, I think immediately, but at the beginning, I had all the support because I had some doctors afterwards till I kind of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. But then down the chain, like 6 months on after that event, I was still not able to properly fall asleep, and that image came along and times and again till yeah, I just couldn't fall asleep anymore. And it was the same period when actually Michael Jackson was put it on anesthesia because he was having sleeping issues as well. And that event kind of inspired me. I said, well, I'm in the same situation. I just couldn't fall asleep. And what I did, I went here in Brussels in one of the university hospital to the emergency room and I asked to the doctors there to put me on under anesthesia. And I said, well, madam, here is Belgium, it's you. We don't have the same protocol, so that's not allowed. But instead, they handed me 2 pills initially, and they sent me back home and says, come back in 2 days. So I took the pills, went back home, nothing happened during the 2 days. And I kept coming back to the emergency room for about 10 days, 2 weeks, till they said, well, there is nothing more we can do for you. You need to search for a therapist or for a specialist. So then again, where I'm going to start that journey, where I'm going to find a specialist. So I started calling hospitals, and here in Brussels, you need at least 6 months to book an appointment. And I was still sleep deprived. I was not having even energy to go to search for someone, understanding the problem, speaking English, all that being available on spot. So it's quite difficult. However, I found an old lady that was already in pension retired. She accepted to have take the ride with me. And from there on, she put me on all kind of medications. It was a lot of trial and error, till we find kind of the good blend for me to sleep and still be functional during the days because I still wanted to, conquer the world. Nothing changed on that. I still have my jobs. I was still having my ambitions. So I do want to be groggy in the morning and still being able to sleep to recover during the night and I still conquer my dreams here during the day. So that was the beginning of 12 years in total of being dependent on sleeping pills.